Did your jade plant slow down its growth or stop growing entirely? I'm going to show you how to kickstart the growth on your jade plant. Hey, Lee here, helping you become a better plant parent, and these are my jade plants. These jade plants are about 4 years old and started off in one of those decorative succulent bowls. I always name my house plants, and these plants' names are Jada, Jaden, and Will. If you have enough direct light in your house, these are really easy plants to take care of. They are succulents and hold water in their leaves, so you don't need to water them very frequently. It's been about 2 years since I've done anything with these plants, and since then their growth has slowed to almost nothing. So I'm going to go through 3 ways that you can kickstart the growth on your jade plants. The first thing we're going to do to jumpstart growth on your jade plant is cutting it back. If you do this during the spring, it helps start new growth and will actually encourage your jade plant to branch off and make new stems. The second thing we're going to do is change the soil. Over time, soil nutrients are lost, and the plant needs these vital nutrients to help continue its growth. If we change the soil, the plant will get new nutrients, and hopefully that will jumpstart its growth again. The third thing we're going to do is change the soil and upgrade the pot size. What this is going to do is it's going to encourage the roots to branch out farther and make a larger plant. The jade does have a root ball and very thin roots, so as we're repotting this, we're going to make sure to knock off as much soil as we can so just the root ball is exposed. This is Jaden, and I'm ready to take some cuts, but the most important thing is to plan out where you want the new growth to go. The new growth will sprout off in the direction of the leaf below. So for example, if I were to make a cut here, the direction that the new growth would come would follow the path of this leaf just towards the camera. So I'm going to make my first cut just above these 2 leaves because I want it to be more spread out when it comes to its new growth. When you're making cuts to your plant, consider where you could be creating empty space on your plant. You can strategically cut your plant to follow leaves so that it can fill in bald spots so that you can make a better looking plant. When you're taking out your plant, knock off as much soil as you possibly can. Remember, jade plants have a root ball, so most of the soil around this tightly packed ball will fall off pretty easily. Add a bit of new soil, put your plant in, and backfill the rest. And the same rules apply when you're moving up to a larger pot. Jade plants may not need to be repotted every year, so waiting 2 to 3 years is generally not an issue for this plant. Typically, I do suggest going up 1-inch pot size, and after 5 months, there's been a lot of great growth from all 3 plants. Jaden, who had been cut back, has split just as planned and put out 4 new leaves on each section. It will continue to grow in these directions as planned, and it will make for a bushier looking plant. When we just exchanged the soil, the growth on Jada Pinkett has been the most underwhelming. She is growing, but because the jade does not tend to be a fast growing plant, it is much more difficult to notice it after just 1 growing season. With Will, the one thing that I did notice the most is the growth in the thickness of the stem. Giving the root ball fresh soil and the opportunity to spread out some more really contributed to the overall growth of this plant. I think the most important thing for the jade plant is utilizing all of these strategies for a better and healthier plant. Cutting back your plant will encourage new growth and branching to make a bushier looking plant, and repotting with new soil into a bigger pot will have the chance for the roots to expand, which will create a stronger and healthier plant as well. But most importantly, give this plant a ton of sunlight. If this video was helpful, give it a like and consider subscribing. See you next time.